Hey everybody, it's been a while. I've been away from the house and on vacation and didn't really make much progress, but this week it's back on, pedal to the metal. I got my daughter's birthday this Saturday, and so that leaves me with tomorrow to finish up what I want to finish up. And so it's been a while since I gave an update, so let's get started. So I actually started cutting the caps around the corners, putting the lights around the corners, and so this is my first time making cuts like this. So I was originally using a 7-inch angle grinder. I converted my 5-inch DeWalt angle grinder to a 7-inch, and that was okay. However, it didn't cut through the entire cap because the cap is 4, and the cutting distance of a 7 is around 2.5, maybe, 2.5, something like that. So I think I ended up here. So I started cutting the angles here. Right, that was the last light I had. Added this block, did the corner, cut the lip in the back, put this guy in, filled it in with a piece here. I thought this looked very nice. I like that. Put a light here. Did the same thing here, cut another piece there, trim this. So here's where it got real tricky because these were not 90s. So the idea here is kind of wobbly, but I'm gonna put the landscaping glue adhesive underneath these, so these shouldn't move at all. Should be fine. I spent probably like 2 to 3 hours just in this section here. It's just kind of tricky the first time you do it. Like I tried to do this nice and it didn't come out nice, and I was just tired of cutting. So one of the things I did realize that I would change if I would do this all over again. So the stairs came out decent. I think they came out nice. But what's different from the last update is that I only had this stairs, this flight of stairs here. 1, 2, and I didn't have anything up here. And the problem is that the caps level is here. And so if I left that there, then the caps would be hanging out, right? Hanging out. And the dirt would just kind of fill in and come into this. So what I had to do was I had to add another stairs. And so what that entailed was grabbing these half blocks, putting one underneath, putting a cap on. Now the cap I didn't cut here like I did here to be flush, because the distance from here to here to here is the same. If I would have cut these, this would have been a bigger step. So that was one reason. And what I also did was I took the grinder and I just kind of cleaned up the front of this cap so it didn't create a lot of space. I also did the same underneath. I cleaned that up so it's closer to the cap down here. Same here. So the thing is, with this approach, my initial plan was to put a light here and then not need one here, because the first step is really the more important one, right? And then you kind of have an idea that there's a second step here. There's stairs here, that's what the lights are. But with this third step, this would be basically in the dark. So what I did was I put a light in the middle, so some of the illumination goes on the first one and some of the illumination goes on the second one, just enough to give you a sense of what's here. Because I wasn't gonna redo all this work. This is all glued in. It's not gonna happen. So, but what I going back to what I said originally, what I would do different was I would just leave the overhang. I'll just leave the overhang, and with the overhang you get the the luxury of putting the lights right here. So, and that would have been nice to have one light here, one light here. I'm probably one light here, maybe I have to cut it. But anyway, so if I were to do it over, that's the way I would do it. But it is what it is. So I also had to add another block in this corner here. I had to dig in some more because since the cap goes all the way back and the original one ended here, I wasn't anticipating needing something back there, so I added that guy, which is basically half of this block right there, leveled. And then we move on here, coming around this corner. I don't like the little gap, but you know what? It's not a big deal. And so finally I'm on this section now, making cuts and adding the lights. I'm pretty tired, so I think I'm just gonna call it today, but I did want to show you, oh yeah, and so I just went ahead and made all the cuts for to run the cable. You can see them there in the middle, right? And so what I bought, so one of the things with this angle grinder and that amount of work is that you're going to need a lot of batteries because there's a lot of cutting. And I only have a XR5, and I have a 6A flex volt. So I thought I could get away with charging one by one, but the problem is that the first one died, and then I would switch on to this guy, and then this one died pretty quickly, and it didn't give me enough time to charge the first one. So I was in battery trouble. I had to basically like stop a lot. So I had this problem, or dilemma. I had to either buy more batteries, which were expensive, and a good deal was like 2 6As for like $240 flex volts, and then maybe sell one of them on eBay. Or I said, well, you know, after this project, I'm probably gonna need that extra battery, so why don't I just get a tool instead? And so I picked up this concrete grinder at Harbor Freight, which I think is becoming my new favorite store. This guy's normally like $280. They had a Inside Track membership thing for $30, and basically you get $40 off. So yeah, so you just got to buy the wheel. The wheel is $89. You can probably find a little bit cheaper on Home Depot, but yeah, for around like the same price I would have paid for both batteries, I got this tool. So it's a lot heavier. It's tougher to maneuver in, but what it does do is that it does a full cut. So I'm still, you know, getting the hang of it, but this is plenty. This is more than 4 inches. And what's nice is it's got this hose attachment. Although I will say it is pretty cheap. Like if the pressure's too great and you close it, this will pop off. So you can probably put a clamp, or find a steel version of this and put a clamp. And look, what do you know? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I did not stage that. So, and that just happens throughout the day, unless you open up the valve, the red valve, and let water go through. But then you're just wasting water. So, other than that, I mean, it's worked fine. It's pretty loud. It's kind of slow, so the cuts take time. But, you know, can't complain too much because it was under $300, when a concrete saw that size will run you at least like $800, anywhere from $800 to $1,500. So, but anyway, that's where I'm at now. And tomorrow, the plan is to just, now that I got a good rhythm going, just finish all these caps, doing the lights, put lights every 6 feet, finish this off. All right, once I got all the caps on, then go back. And this is one thing I just prefer to do. Until everything is on and good, I don't glue anything. So I'm gonna have to take the caps, I think starting here, and just take one by one and just put glue. And also here, add some more drain rock to prevent things from moving around. I kind of don't like how this cable is exposed, but it'll be drain rock and dirt, so it should be fine. And yeah, just start gluing. And I do plan on finishing this tomorrow. That's it. Till next time. Bye.